Hello. In today's lecture, I will tell you about writing. We're going to talk about what writing is, how it developed over time, and finally, what types of writing there are. So what is writing? You know that there are many languages that don't have a writing system, and spoken language existed for a very long time without writing altogether. So writing is not a necessary part of language, but what it is it allows us to keep what was said and refer to it later when the speaker is no longer there. So you have one definition here, that writing is a system of more or less permanent marks used to represent an utterance in such a way that it can be recovered more or less exactly without the intervention of the utterer. So when I say something, you can write it down and you can go back to what I said even when I am no longer there. So for a very long time, since the development of language, people lived without writing. And the first type of writing, or the first step towards writing, were pictograms. Basically, pictograms are kind of pictures. So any image that looks like the thing that it means is a pictogram. So an image that represents an object and resembles it. For example, a picture of a sun could be used to mean the sun. This means that pictograms are non-arbitrary. So when I show you a picture of a sun, it looks kind of like the sun. If I show you a picture of a dog, it looks like the dog. You know what a dog looks like, so you can immediately tell that it's a dog. But if I say dog, if you don't speak English, you will not know what this means. So language is arbitrary, but pictograms are non-arbitrary. So you see a picture and it means exactly what it shows. Now, in time, as people are using pictograms, the picture becomes less and less detailed. And you can see here on the slide how the symbol for the Chinese symbol for the word horse was changing. And the first one on the left is the oldest one. And you can see that it looks very much like a horse. But in time, it becomes simplified. And so the last symbol on the right, if you don't know where it comes from, the similarity to the actual horse is not that clear. Now, as pictograms are becoming simpler and they change shape, they often change meaning slightly. So they become associated with all the other concepts associated with that word. And when a picture starts meaning other things, that's when it becomes an ideogram. So an ideogram is a symbol that represents a concept. It doesn't look like that concept, but it looks like something related to it. So for example, if I use the picture of a sun to mean sun, that's a pictogram. But if I use the picture of a sun to mean warmth or light or daytime, then this is an ideogram. So it's something related to this thing in the picture. Now we are still using pictograms today. So, for example, very often on road signs, you can see pictures of things that you're being warned about. For example, to show that it's a camel crossing, you might see a picture of a camel, right? So it's a picture of a camel that means camel. That's a pictogram. We also use ideograms. For example, if you show a skull on a bottle, that means poison, right? So the skull means something related to the skull, so something that will make you die. And they're very useful because you don't need to know the words. They can be used internationally. So whoever comes to a new country, if they see a picture of a camel, they will know to expect a camel, even if they don't speak Arabic. If they see a picture of a skull, they will know it's poison, even if they don't know the word for poison. And so again, as time goes by, ideograms become associated with specific words. So it's not now only about a concept like warmth or daytime or light, but a specific word. So a logogram is a symbol that represents a particular word. So for example, if you get a sign, a symbol that represents C, a C, in time it might just mean the sound C. So it could be used for both seeing, like with your eyes, and for the sea, the water, right? This way we get something more like a letter, right? We get a symbol that doesn't have a meaning tied to it, but it has a sound that it's tied to it, right? So the letter S doesn't stand for snake or sea or any other word beginning with S. It just means S. So this is how writing developed. It started with pictograms, which are basically pictures, which then get their meaning extended to all related concepts, becoming ideograms. Then they get tied to one particular word, and they are logograms. And finally, they are only related to the sound of a word. And this is how we have come to the first symbols like we use writing today. And initially they were all syllable symbols. And this is what I will tell you about in the next video.